I am gaming. I am gaming. I am gaming podcast.
Hey everybody, my name is Ivica. Thank you so much for being on the latest episode of I'm Gaming Podcast. This is a podcast about the video game industry, entrepreneurship, gaming nostalgia, and many more things I find to be in the same realm of business and creative ventures. Cool things, of course, and hopefully cool things for you as well. Like always, a huge thanks goes to my Patreon supporters. You really make this podcast possible. Without you, it would be really hard to keep going and do so over a period of nearly 3 years, which is amazing, and you made it possible. So again, a big thanks goes to all of you. If you'd like to consider supporting me, please check out my Patreon page and see if you can pitch in $1 or $2 per month. If you can, that would be more than amazing. If you can't, well, consider subscribing, leaving a like, leaving a share, or doing a share, or doing anything in such a manner. This is episode 145, and this is going to be an episode about the processes and the problems that come from the indie game promotional campaigns or improvised promotional campaigns that start, stop, and do that over a course of a prolonged period, let's say a year or two, or at least several months. It's hard to do indie game marketing, and everyone who tried it knows it too well. The reason, well, a lot of marketing channels are completely free, like social media, in terms of money, but they cost you your time. And if you're a part of an indie team or an indie game developer, you have a really limited amount of the same. You have a limited amount of money probably as well, but the same goes to and applies to the concept of losing time or wasting time on any matter, including game promotion. Now I know that you, like so many out there, probably think that game promotion is a necessity, and I would agree so. But there is an issue when you use game promotion in a manner that has it start, stop over and over again. The reason for that is that many teams or solo developers set out some kind of a plan. If the plan is defined through a document and formally a plan, that's great. But many do so without a formal setup. They simply decide that they will start promoting their game. I'm talking here about games in the making, so the games that are being developed, by doing a set of procedures. For example, sharing on Twitter or creating a website and posting content related to the game. Any promotional process basically is useful. However, starting things and then finding out that you don't have the time or energy, or do you want to spend the effort to do the same promotion, is an issue. The same goes for starting your game, starting to promote it. By starting, I mean starting to develop it, and then suddenly deciding that you don't have any time, that you don't have any space to do the same, and putting the whole project on a stop or simply pausing it. When you do that, almost all teams or indie developers, solo indie developers, decide to stop promoting the game as well. Which is natural because you're not doing anything, so you're probably deciding that you shouldn't promote it either. However, the issue here is that this sends an incredibly bad message to your audience, potential audience and present audience, which says that you're basically one thing and that is unstable. So your project and your effort is an unstable venture that might go ahead, might be dead in the water, no one can tell for sure. Now any project is like that, and it's normal to in reality be an unstable and unsure process. Even huge billion-dollar companies fail. Even huge games become complete box office bombs, and it's a cool and normal thing. However, you don't want to send out that message from the get-go. And you do that with starting and stopping and then restarting and then stopping again your promotional efforts. If you feel that you don't have the time or the energy, or that your project might stop, do not start your promotional campaign at all. You're not gaining anything with it. You're simply signaling to everyone that you don't have a clue how things are going. Start your promotional efforts and your campaign when you're certain that you'll not only follow through, but that you have time and effort and energy to actually take care of it. If you don't, you don't have any obligation to do so. In fact, it can only backfire on you. I know that a lot of people think that there is no bad marketing, and to an extent it's true, but however, if people find out about your game and they check out your Twitter page and then see that you made 6 months breaks during the past 2 years, that's not going to be a good promotional process or a good information you want to send out to other potential customers or co-developers or whoever might be looking at your content. The same goes for any other source of promotion, if that's a website, if it's a blog, if it's a YouTube channel, it doesn't matter. The key point here is that if you do things on and off in the promotional sense, it's not something that anyone enjoys. There is no venture that is gaining strength from going on a hiatus for 3 months. Something like that does not exist unless you're a circus. If you're not, even then, if you're a circus, even then you should double check and reconsider that idea. But if you're not a circus and if you're an indie game developer, don't do that. In my view, it's a complete dead end that either is wasting your time for no efforts or doing the exact opposite, building up a foundation where you can easily and quickly signal to the whole world that you're completely unsteady, unsure, and unable to continue in a smooth and constant manner with either your development or your promotional efforts, or both. And when it boils down to clear facts and bare facts, having both problems is a big issue. Having those two at the same time is something that's, well, downright terrible. So on-off indie game promotion is a really bad idea in my view, and even though I understand that things happen, changes of plans occur and problems arise out of nowhere, doing that and still knowing that you're going to make a pause is the thing that you want to avoid. So if you're certain that things are shaky, things might go south, you might have to postpone or pause or do anything with your game that's being developed that you don't like, don't make a Twitter page, don't start posting your images on Screen Share Saturday or any other hashtag, because you don't have to. There is no reason for you to do the same, because even if you have zero promotions, zero promotional efforts, if your game is going well, you'll find a moment when you can start promoting it. Otherwise, keep it to yourself until you're ready and sure that you can both deliver the game, or at least continue to work on it, and continue to steadily promote it. If those two are non-existent or lacking, give it some time. Making a marketing process that's on and off is a no-go in my view, and that's what episode 145 of I'm Gaming Podcast is all about. So we're at the very end. It's a longer episode than I usually make, but I had a lot of things to say in this episode apparently, and you were here with me until the very end. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, and think that the same thing is also cool. You know what would be cool as well? If you pinch in $1 or $2 per month on my Patreon page and help me make new episodes of I'm Gaming Podcast. Because hey, money is awesome, and when you get money from people online, you feel great. So there's a lot of things in it for me, not so much in it for you, unless you have some kind of venture that you want me to spread the word about, which I would love to do. As you can see in the description below, I leave links to all of my Patreon supporters, games, YouTube channel, Twitch streams, NFT projects, whatever you might be working on. If you're willing to support me, I would love to support you as well. So reach out, reach out and send me a message or leave a comment, we'll get in touch. But if you just want to give me money as an anonymous person of a golden heart, well, that would be amazing just as well. So, thanks again for listening to episode 145 I'm Gaming Podcast. The next one will be here in precisely 7 days from now. And if you didn't, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, sharing this with your indie developer friends who keep making their Twitter pages only to then turn them off in 2 months, and everyone else who has problems with on and off marketing. and I will appreciate that more than you can imagine. My name is Ivica. Thank you so much again for being here. Thanks again for all of my Patreon supporters. Thanks for listening. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you in precisely 7 days from now. Until then, bye bye.